So I was standing in the middle of a crowded bus on the way home from work, and I hear two girls at the back. They start complaining. Something on the bus is like making me physically ill, like I'm ready to vomit. And I sniff the air around me, and I realize it's me. I am caked in like garbage juice and all kinds of other gross stuff from work that I am making people who are not even right around me wanting to throw up. This was 2 years ago when I just moved to Toronto, a starry-eyed writer straight out of film school with my first paid feature screenplay commission, which then quickly fell apart and the money ran out and my credit card maxed out and I needed to get a job. So I went to my local temp agency and got a 2-week maintenance gig in a North York apartment complex. So I showed up on the first day and found out that my duties included picking up garbage from the front and back parking lots, wiping the soot out of the underground parking lots, which are primarily soot, and then cleaning every day 22 garbage chute rooms, where residents would throw everything from leftover pizza slices to satellite dishes and all other things of food and human waste you can imagine. Yeah, so I'd come home and I'd like sneeze and then I'd see all the like black soot that had come into my Kleenex, and I'd shower and watch like the gray garbage juice circle around the drain, and just feel new levels of shame as my self-esteem got lower and lower every day. And so suffice to say, at the beginning of the second week, I was like, I am done. And so I told my boss, who was this very like stern-sounding super, he always sounded angry. I said like, oh, by the way, after these 2 weeks, after the end of this week, the trial period, I'm not going to be coming back to work here. And he was like, what, you don't like the job? Well, to be honest, yeah. I didn't actually say that. I really wanted to say that. What I said was, well, I mean, like, I found another job, and like, just it's easier, it's closer to home, or whatever. I had no such job. But then I was still happy, even though I had no more job prospects. I had enough money to pay the next month's rent. And so on that last day, I had a spring in my step as I hopped off the bus, and I'm ready to go to work. And so I just keep saying to myself, this is my last day. This is my last day. And I pass by the apartment complex next to me that has police tape around it, thinking, that has nothing to do with me. This is my last day. This is my last day. So I show up, and still like sort of bouncing around, like a bit happier, a bit more excited, and feeling almost like, I'm about to be free out of this cage that I put myself in, and picking up garbage in the front parking lot, thinking maybe I can finally put that master's degree to use. And a police officer comes over to me and says like, oh, have you like seen anything or heard anything? And I was like, well, no, I haven't. What happened? And he says to me, someone didn't like someone else. Somebody really didn't like somebody else. And then he walks away. So while I'm trying to put two and two together in my head, then my stern boss calls me almost immediately on my work phone and asks me to come to the office. And so I walk in, and I expect him to be saying like, why are you talking to the police? Don't talk to the police. But he didn't say that. He's like, oh, if they need help cleaning up in the other apartment, so you need to go over there. So now I'm not as dumb as I look. I had an idea of what he meant, but I guess I was curious, and I kind of emotionally checked out for these past 2 weeks. So I walk over and get greeted by the nicest super I'd ever met, who takes my hand in both his hands and says like, oh, thank you so much for helping us out with this mess. We really, really appreciate it. Come on, I'll show you where it is. I'll get you all set up. You're okay with blood, right? Don't worry, it's not that much blood. It's not that much blood. And then so, he gets me a mop and a bucket and gloves, and we go into the elevator and we get to the 7th floor, and then he takes me to the stairwell where there's just a giant blood spatter, much more than not that much blood, with one single footprint in it, and then just leaves me to it. And I'm just like sitting there kind of, at first, like, I guess in shock or not really knowing. I mean, I didn't know what I was going to expect. It's the most interesting thing that's ever happened to me, by far. And then I started emotionally checking back in, And then I realized this is the saddest thing I've ever been a part of. This guy who, like, I had heard out from people talking in, around the apartment, was 21 years old, much younger than I was. So he had just gotten out of jail 3 days earlier, was shot, someone came for payback. And so then, as I was standing there, and then the real sadness kicked in, is when I just started to clean things up. And it only took a few minutes. It was just like in a few minutes, I had erased this guy's ghost. His whole, like, imprint of him here, like, in this apartment, just disappeared just like that. And then he was gone. And that was that. So then I just went back, sort of handed over the equipment to the super, who, thanked me again really politely and really friendly. And then I walked out. And, I mean, it was really sad, it was really terrible. And there was this one really, like, selfish saving grace to me, was one, that it was my last day, I was done, and two, because of this problem, I didn't have to clean a single fucking garbage chute room. Thank you for listening.